So hello children, we move on to the part 2 of our video lesson on GST. So here we will see, we continue. So we have seen in part 1 of the video, we have done 4 questions on MCQ, which I started with the year 2022. In fact, semester 1 exam was in 2021 last December, I think. Then we have semester 2 in March, April somewhere. So here we go to the next 2 and the last MCQ question before we go to traditional question. This is this year's real question. I have the question paper also, if you can see. So this is a real question paper of 2023. So there are 15 MCQ questions. This is one part 7. There were 15 part question. So one question came on GST. And here the year's Council gives specimen paper for every year. So for 24, I don't think so it has come. It will come. So it gives us a model paper, how the paper will be. So I am solving part 1. The very first question of specimen paper of 2023 was on GST. And all this you get in the official website of the ICSE. I think CISE.org, you will go there, you will get past year's question, specimen question, this also you will get, plus some other thing like analysis of people's performance where they solve the past year question and then what were the mistake done by the children, how they have done, comment for the recommendation for the teachers. So all that you can see. So here we go with this year's question paper, first specimen and then next real question. Same way in the next part of this video we'll do the specimen traditional question, what comes, 3 or 4 mark, and then the real question from GST from this year. So here if you see part 7 of your ICSE 2023. Okay, so this question I'll solve, then we will see. So here we start children without wasting time. So see very carefully, lot of small thing here also. I'll tell you, suppose like in school exam I change few words, few values, and what happens here. The SGST, the state GST, okay, state goods and services tax paid by a customer to the shopkeeper. So one thing I forgot to explain it to you in the note, last thing, if you see, it was written, if nothing is mentioned in any question. So see, ICSE always, I told you in syllabus, if you see, there is only intra-state within the state. Interstate question syllabus does not mention about interstate, where all the taxes goes to the center, IGST. So such question will not come, has not come, because it is not in syllabus. See the syllabus nicely in part 1 of my video. So here 15 rupees goes for SGST. So remember, when nothing is mentioned, my note last part, we take the sale to be intra-state, means within the state, as I have explained, from one city to other or within a city. So where half of the money SGSTC is 15 rupees. So here children, central GST, see GST will also be 15 rupees because they share half. Okay, so rupees 30. So see here, the rate of the tax is given. We have to find the rate, the amount of tax is given. So what is the rate of GST? So on 500. So what is the base price, children? Okay, base price, a basic price is rupees 500. Okay, 15 rupees goes to the state government, means 15 rupees goes to the central government, because nothing is mentioned and ICSE only talks about intra-state. So when state gets, the central government will also get. So here one thing you have to do, 30 is what percent. So percentage, if you see, when you want to find percent, part by whole into 100%. So 30 is what part of 500. Okay, if you calculate. So when you bring percent, one of my videos on percentage, especially one mental, another for class 6 and 7, you can see where we learn. So as I told you before, percentage is the heart of This all commercial mathematics, especially GST, and little bit complicated application of percentage is there in your banking and shares and dividend, but here it is direct application. Okay, when I make the next video solving 2020 question, there I'll talk about what the performance analysis of people's performance tells about question which came from GST. So here 30 is what percent of 500. So once more, your base price is given, 15 rupees is SGST, so 15 rupees will be CGST, 30 rupees. So here if you find 30 is what percent of 500, 30 by 500, so 0 will cancel, 5 6 so it is 6% GST. Okay, so 6%, as I was telling you, is not the real slab rate, but here we get 6%. Now same question, children, if we change this S, we remove, see what will happen. GST paid is 15 rupees, not SGST. Then what is the rate of GST? So children, it will be, let me write with black pen. So just what I do in our school exam and all, I just change few things what council has given. Many times I have done and still I do. So 15 is what percent of 500. So children, if you solve, percentage will come. It will be 3%. So once more in the question, the GST paid by customer to the shopkeeper for an article price 500 is 15 GST. So answer will be 3%. Since it is SGST or CGST. Okay, so answer is 6%. So now we come to the next question. The printed price, this is the real question which came this year. Question 1, part 7 of ICSE 2023 MCQ question. The printed price of an article is 3080. Now listen, read the question very carefully. If the rate of the GST is 10%, then find the GST charge. To just find the GST. Okay, so here nothing mentioned. This is also interest rate. Okay, if the rate of the GST is 10%, so what is 10% of 3080? Okay, if the rate of GST is 10%, the GST charged. So 10%, as I told you, percentage goes, 100 comes. So you can see my class 6-7 video, and one video is on mental percentage, which I'll make fourth video on this, how you can see question and almost mentally will get the right answer or very close answer, okay, through practice, even without calculator. So 10% of 3080, what happens? 10, this cancel means 110. So remember, 10% of anything means 10 goes. If there is no 0, then one decimal place is shifted. Suppose you find 10% of 308. We'll say, sir, there is no 0 here. So what will happen? One decimal will come here. Okay, so remember, but here says 0 is there, it will cancel. Answer is 308. Once more, 10% generally we remove 10. 10% of 3080, this cancels, so 1/10. 1/10 means, so suppose there is no 0, one decimal will come here. Suppose it would have been 308 in place of 3080. Now very interesting thing, children, this option is also there, so I'm not talking about this. So correct answer, children, is 300. Now same question, if children, if the printed price of an article is this, if the rate of GST is, then the SGST, imagine if suppose once when SGST charged, okay, if this is intra-state, is, listen, what I do, SGST charge, and I write that it is intra-state, within the state. This is what ICSE says. That means out of 308, half of the money, so CGST will be 154, half of this, and SGST will be half of this. So what we will do actually in that situation, you can make it 5%. The state government will get 5% of, this is either you find total and do half, or you find 5% of 3080, so which is 5 by 100 into 3080, 0 will cancel, so when you solve you will get rupees 154. So this answer can also be correct. So your correct option is 1 part 7 B 308, because this was GST charged. If SGST paid and the trade is intrastate, answer would have changed. So use your common sense and try to understand the concept in my first 3-4 videos. Then you can go to the book, see solved example, whatever book you are following, then do unsolved example. So kindly pause the video and copy. Then we will take 2 sum, one from specimen 2023 and one from real 2023 traditional type of question. So this is all about MCQ we had in ICSE. First part video I have shown you 4 MCQ and here 2. So now we will go to non-MCQ questions. So now we move on to the traditional type of question, which is 4 part 1 in specimen paper, and then this is our real ICSE question 2023. You can see the original question and we will solve this first. So see here we have, see how the specimen matches with the real question paper. You'll see there are 2 items, mark price given, rate of GST given 18, 28, but here we have 12. So this is very close to the real tax slab we have, but here discount is there, children. Many children don't see this discount, so you have to see that very carefully. So graphic card is there, whose mark price is 15,000, 1500 and rate of GST is 18%. So price after GST. So 2 things will have, children, directly. There are 2 ways, 18% of this plus you add this. So best I'll tell you, find 118% of 15,500 plus 128% of 1900, because find the total amount to be paid, means your base price plus the GST. So here 118 means 100 rupees plus 18 rupees we are paying. So this is 2 in 1, children, because generally what we do, 15,500 plus 18%, because we don't want separate GST. So directly if you do same, we are 28% you find, then you add 1900. So this is 1 step method upon 100. When percentage goes 100 comes 15,500 plus 128 by 100 into 1900. So this is laptop adapter, children. Adapter means for charging what we use, and this is graphic card we use in laptop. So this 20 cancels, you get rupees 118 into 155 plus 128 rupees you can take into 19. So if you multiply, I hope you are good in multiplication, you will get 18,290, and this one will be, children, 2,432. So I hope you can multiply. That's why I have multiplied. So this I'm not going to waste time and simply add, and your answer will be 20,722. So I hope this calculation, multiplication and addition you can do. Okay, so I'm not going to teach this. Main thing is concept once more. 2 things are given where mark price is given, rate of GST is given, and the total amount to be paid means including GST. Suppose they would have asked what is the total GST, like here. So we had to find first 18% of this plus 28% of this. Done. The next total bill means again these 2, base price plus that GST you have to calculate. But here find the total amount. So directly we go over here. But in that situation, let us see. Okay, pause the video and copy. Then we'll go on to this year's very latest ICSE question, which we had on, I think, 10th of March this year. So now let us see this year's question. Hair oil. So first what we do, discounted price of hair oil. Children, this is given in rupees. Generally sometimes discount is given as percentage. So 1200, you get rupees 100, not 10%. Rupees 100 you get means you get it for 1100. What is GST, children? So don't apply GST on 1200. First take discount, 18% of that. 18% of 1100 is 18 when percentage goes. So you have to be very clear about percentage. If you are not good, please see my class 6 and 7 video. Okay, there are many where you can be very clear, because this is, I think, not even class 8 and 9, this is class 6 and 7 level percentage question. Percentage goes, 100 comes, 1100, 00 cancel, 18 11s I think is 198. So this is, children, GST on hair oil. Next part is on cashew nut. GST on cashew, okay, is 12% of 600. So 12 by 100 into 600. So it is rupees 72. So generally you get 1 mark for finding this. Then total GST. So first part of the question we come, total GST is, let me use black ink to just tell you that we add this 198 plus 72, it is rupees 270. Second part, children, total bill means 1100 plus, so this becomes 1100, children. Okay, after discount this becomes 1100 plus 600, so we get 1700. Okay, plus 600 is 1700, then we add 270. This is the total GST. Don't add separately. So this two item already I have done. You could have done directly 1700 plus 270, so you get 1970. Any way you do. So once more, children, to recap, hair oil, one must do is first you subtract 100 rupees discount, then you find 18% of that. Okay, 18 11s are 198 rupees is GST on hair oil. GST and cashew nut, there is no discount. Dash means no discount. See the question paper. And then we get 72 rupees GST. Total GST is this, part A, and part B, your base price 1700 plus 270, or you add here, and don't write, you could have written 270, 198 as plus 72, but since we have added over here in A, no need to again show that in part B. So we get 1970. So this was, if I check, children, was a 3 mark question. So generally to get 3 marks, if you get any of these two values, in my other videos also I'll talk about how generally you get marks distribution. You get 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this, and 1 mark for 1970. Okay, so this part 271 mark, 1971 mark, and any one of this if you solve generally. So this is how you get the marks, part marks also. So thank you, children, for watching this video lesson. Then we will go to the last year. So I have done 2022 in my part 1. This is part 2 and part 3. The very first year, 2020, I'll take. There are 2 sum only. There was no MCQ. MCQ started from 2022. There was no ICSE in 2021 because of COVID. So I go back to the very first year and my last video on ICSE, because later on I'll make from book more harder sum, more MCQ question. Sums I'll make 1 or 2 video. So later on we will see. But from ICSE previous year question, after this we'll have one more part 3 video where we will do 2020. Thank you, children, for watching this video lesson.